So, ECP is emergency care practitioner. I work out of a minor injury unit within the community, specifically Ludlow. As an emergency care practitioner, we provide a walk-in service for the public. I will look at, assess, create a management plan for that injury, refer on to specialties if needed. It was a specific minor injury module at university. Did a foundation degree in paramedic science originally, and then I have done a top-up degree, bachelor's in emergency practitioner.
Was that something you self-tasked and self-funded, that course?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, did it off my own back whilst I was working full-time for the ambulance service. Within Shropcom, they have laid on a plethora of different courses and opportunities to develop clinically. They do allow us to go and all over the country actually. I've been down to Milton Keynes, up to Manchester, London, doing different courses to develop as a clinician and help provide a better service. But I definitely am able to take my skills from here, working in minor injuries, to the ambulance service much more effectively.
I have two roles within Shropcom. First and foremost, I joined as a paramedic on urgent care. So 2-hour urgent care response is part of the government's model to get patients seen in their own home a bit quicker than the ambulance service can deliver at the moment. So that's 2 days a week. I'm still doing that. And then 3 days a week now I'm also the resuscitation officer for the trust, which is it's sort of a semi-governance and semi-training position. So I lead on the training for all resuscitation, so basic life support and immediate life support. I was the first full-time employed paramedic in the trust in the rapid response role. So I'm a problem solver, that's my motivation in life really. So with the urgent care paramedic, that is purely problem solving, that ticks all my boxes really. To ask a patient what's wrong, get an idea of their problem in the context of their own home, I find that important, and then to be able to deliver some kind of way out of that problem for them, that really does make me feel validated. That's, at the end of the day, I like that. That's what drives me. I get my validation pretty much vicariously from training other people.
Although I must say, hospitality does come into play a lot as a paramedic, especially in the community.
Lots of transferable skills in people skills.
Yes, and with mental health as well. Talking is 80% of the job. They come in wrapped in a tea towel, bleeding, upset, worried about what's going on, and we go through a systematic approach to assess the wound. It's very satisfying to have a patient walk in with a bleeding wound and then leave with some sutures all cleaned up, wrapped up, appropriate dressing applied, with a management plan in place.
And I think paramedic practice teaching since then has come a long way. Yeah, even since I've joined, I mean, you're 8 years, I'm in 5 years in, and since I've joined, those doors have opened enormously. Like I said, I was the first in Shropcom to be taken on as an urgent care para, and that's only going to grow, isn't it?
The general feeling of paramedics is that you become a paramedic to not necessarily work in hospitals, to be out in the community.
It's that kind of that working in the middle of a field, in the middle of nowhere, being challenged with yourself and pushing yourself. That's what I was interested in at the time. I did a couple of shifts on observer shifts on an ambulance. I thought, you know what, I like this. This is kind of up my street. This is that kind of problem solving I really enjoyed.
You get something like a fall at home, but you can go to 100 different falls at home, and every single one will be different.
There is no two falls the same, even the same person falling over twice. It's always going to be a different position, different injuries, different causes. There are at least 3 or 4 different universities working within our area here, and they are feeding students both into the ambulance service, and then we have short placements within Shropcom.
So it's quite interesting to have to adapt to different students in that way.
Yeah.
But it's good. I enjoy having students, to be honest.
Definitely. I completely agree with the whole I learn more from having a student, because you need to think things through, don't you, logically, in order to explain them. You need to fundamentally understand them. So what are your top tips for students who come through?
Don't stand back and be shy. That's not something that paramedics will get very far doing. You need to get stuck in.
Absolutely, 100% agree with that. Communication is the most key thing for me.
Patients across the board, you know, you've got to behave very differently with a 2-year-old than you do with an 82-year-old.